Also,
a person who is concealed carrying a weapon, a pistol, if they do it right, nobody will know it's there.
Right to bear arms, the law allows people in Alabama to pack heat, but exactly where they can carry a gun is up for debate.
Alabama's new gun law is in place, but some are not settled on the question about guns on school property. Good evening, I'm Sherry Jackson.
And I'm Trent Butler. Not everyone agrees on what is and is not allowed, and this disagreement continues despite some clarifications from educators and institutions about gun-free zones on school property. CBS42's Mike McClanahan tonight has more from one Birmingham attorney who's taking aim at what he calls some conflicting policies. Mike.
Well, Trent, when tempers flare like they can around athletics or, for that matter, school traffic, one attorney who has examined the new gun law and some prior state laws says there is room for debate and possibly concern about guns on campus.
Especially as we get into the cooler season, people wearing jackets, sweaters, sweatshirts, things like that. The person sitting next to you at a football game may be armed legally with a permit, but you may never know it's there.
If that's a scary thought, here's another question.
The Walker County situation with the coaches who got into a fight there, how quickly could that have escalated if somebody in the stands had a gun? It may or may not, we'll never know.
In August, State Superintendent Dr. Tommy Bice sent out a letter clarifying that guns are forbidden on school property, citing a 1991 state law. Birmingham attorney Daniel Burnick argues that amendments from 1994 changed that.
If somebody does have a concealed carry permit and they have a weapon on school property, I think that is permitted under the Alabama law that Dr. Bice does not reference in his letter. You know, if I'm going to school to have lunch with my child or go to see a play and I'm carrying a weapon and I have a permit, there's no intent to harm anyone, I'm calm, I'm cool, I say hi to everybody, is that a violation? My interpretation of 13A11-72 is no, it's not. However, again, I would not recommend doing that.
Burnick thinks that right extends to public universities too, but since the new law took effect, several state institutions have put out notice that guns are off limits.
A person is able to have a weapon in a public place. It's my understanding that a public university is in fact a public place. The question then becomes, does a policy, a school policy, override state law?
The question may play out in the courts or the legislature or both.
Alabama District Attorneys Association President Richard Minor says the biggest question with the new state gun law is likely to boil down to property rights when it comes to people who live on college campuses.
All right, Mike, with all these questions out there that you've been talking about, how are police handling the many issues around the new gun law right now?
Well, Trent, there are stipulations in the law for locations clearly marked as gun-free zones and equipped with guards and other security measures. Minor says people carrying guns may be asked to leave or face trespassing charges. And regardless of the state law, there is a federal law against bringing guns to schools, with exceptions for police and security personnel. Back to you.